Finding to me, whenever people say, I want to find my calling, it always makes me feel like it's lost. And it's never lost. Why? Because it's a part of you. It's who you are. I believe that it's really about discovery. Hi, I'm Elemi. Welcome to your spiritual home, Yeyeo.com. On our channel, we talk about everyday rituals, spiritual lifestyle, ancestors, and African spirituality. And if this is your first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. Remember, we're Yeyeo.com. So today, I want to shout out, all my people from the Boogie Down Bronx. Woohoo! Bronx, New York in the house. Welcome. So today I've heard this question, oh my goodness, it's got to be at least 1,000 times. And so I thought that today would be a good day to do a video about this, and I have a training on this exact subject, which is to discover your purpose. Some people call it discover your calling, and I actually like that better than purpose because there are two different things, and we're going to get into that in this video. So let's find out about ways to discover your calling and when. Let's get started. Finding your calling is, and I would have to say discovering, because finding to me, whenever people say, I want to find my calling, it always makes me feel like it's lost. And it's never lost. Why? Because it's a part of you. It's who you are. I believe that it's really about discovery. And so when I was younger, I didn't even think about purpose and calling, right? I was just having a good time. And that I know how to do very, very well. So I have a cousin who, when he was younger, he knew exactly what he wanted to do from he was maybe 9 or 10 years old. And none of us knew. We just knew that there were so many things that were going on in the world that was just interesting. Oh, I could be this, I could be that. That could be this, I could be that. There's so many things that were just interesting to us versus thinking about the rest of our life, right? That seemed so far away. It seemed so long that we weren't thinking about that. But I've learned over time that discovering your calling, why are you here? Why am I here? What are we here to do? When people ask me this question, there's one thing that I continuously say, and it's my sweet thing for you today in this video. And that is to be happy. That's your main purpose for being here. Figuring out what's going to make you happy, that's what's going to make you fulfilled in ways that no one can do for you except for you. And so today we're going to talk about 5 ways to discover your purpose and your calling, which are kind of two sides of a hand, right? And so your purpose, in my view, is to be happy, to express what it is that the divine has put you here to do. But your calling can be how you share and influence with other people this talent, this gift, this deep inner vibrancy that you have about yourself. So they're kind of similar, the same at times, but separate if you kind of feel what I'm talking about. And so let's get into that. So the first thing is, what makes you want to do it without any kind of compensation? It doesn't matter if people love it. It doesn't matter if you get paid to do it. Doesn't matter if you get rave reviews. It's just something you want to do. And so here's an example. People who love to cook. I love to use that example because they love to eat their food and they love to see other people eat their food, right? Artists, they love to make beautiful art. They want to admire it themselves and they want others to admire it as well, or enjoy others admiring it as well. If it's something around care, right? Taking care of children, people. Some people are into plants, right? I call them plant moms and pops, right? You know, we have all these different plant babies, loving to see nature just growing. That can be, well, some people say, oh, that person has a green thumb. So that could be a part of a person's purpose, right? But their calling is this is something I want to do. I always want to do it. It doesn't matter if anyone compensates me for it, right? So it could be two together, but more so this video's deeply around your calling. So I'm giving you examples about how to start to think about this, especially if you're going to take my training on discovering your calling so you can win. So I wanted to share this with you as we go along, because I think it'll help to really think on this subject. And this is a focus candle, right? It doesn't need to be this particular candle, but we sell these focus candles because it really helps people to focus. Think about, what is it that I really want to do? Because there are many times people seem very confused, and this one says direction, intention, and clarity, right? Direction, intention, and clarity. Because when we're discovering our calling, we want to have clarity. We want to have focus so that we can continue in that direction of success. Again, a calling and that discovery is only helpful if you're going to consistently do it, and if it can also help to really fill you. And so if a person wants to pursue that, as an example, as a career, then it needs to be able to compensate you, right? So if you're having some kind of calling, you want to do, let's say, I've met many people who say, I want to open up a space. I want to open up a space for people who are disenfranchised, people who are homeless, children who are in the foster system or something like that. I want to open up this space. That's an example. I always say to them, well, that sounds great. Do you have the training to do that? Did you go get some kind of certificate? How are you going to finance it while also taking care of yourself and your responsibilities, right? So I'm just kind of giving you guys something to think about when we're talking about finding your discovering your calling. So the other one is, so the first one we said is gratification, right? Does it fill you? The second one is, how does it make you feel? Does it make you excited to get out of bed? Bam, bet, I'm going to go do this, right? This is my thing, right? There are things that people, oh my God, I can't wait to do this thing, whatever this thing is, right? Is it heart-centered? Because that's what's making you feel like, oh my gosh, I want to do this. I want to do it all the time, share it in some way. Does it bring you excitement, right? How does it make you feel? That is extremely important when you're thinking about discovering your calling. And so I just want to pause here for a second for all my people, because Spirit's like, well, what about the people who say they're confused and they don't know what they want to do? When you're confused, you need to take my training so I can help you work through that, because I have some definite tools for that. And what you're going to do if you want to learn more about that part is botanica@yeyeo.com, and in the subject line, purpose, right? Purpose. Then I'll know you're interested in taking that training. But if you're confused, then that's work that you need to do so that you're not trying to choose 10 things at the same time, right? You can't eat a whole buffet on one plate, right? There's only so much that fits on a fork. And so this is why it's extremely important for you to work through that, to understand, is this a purpose? Is this a calling? Or is it just kind of like a hobby and something I'm experimenting with? So again, how does it make you feel? And does it bring a strong sense of gratification to you? The third one is, does it put in energy? Does it bring in energy into you? Does it make you feel energized and wanting to do it more? And every time you do it, it brings more and more energy, right? Again, if you're doing something that feels depleting, oh my gosh, I got to do this again. Oh my gosh, I got to do this again. Look at that. See, my alarm just came on to remind us exactly what I said. You cannot make that up. So the next one is, can you be compensated financially with this calling? Because if it brings you energy, if it makes you feel excited, if you get a sense of gratification out of it, can it now pay for itself, right? So if you spent money on this thing, you've gotten training, you're taking classes, you're learning, you're getting better and better at it, can you then use this calling to finance your life, pay for your family, pay for yourself, right? These are things to really look at so that this calling now takes care of itself. And the fifth one, and you know I have a sweet thing for you again. The fifth one is this a talent? Because there are times where people feel like they're being called to something, but it isn't a talent per se. It isn't necessarily cooking, dancing, singing, talking per se, right? It could be something like traveling. My calling is to travel around the world and to share African spirituality with the world. Wink, wink, right? You need to be able to say, what is this thing? Is this a talent? That is maybe another way of thinking about a talent, right? Because there are a lot of times I notice that people are saying, oh, well, you know, I don't really think that it's this or it's that, because they're looking for something that's a bit more tangible. So think about something also, if you're having a hard time discovering what your calling is this something that's a little bit more esoteric, right? It could be writing. It could be expressing. There are people today who have podcasts or they have shows. These are other ways to look at a talent, which then moves to a calling, right? And remember, this video is all about that discovery. And so for people who are in African spirituality, this part's especially for you. So the Orisha Shango, right? He's bravado, he's fiery, he's the Orisha of fire, red, passion, right? Physical passion, wink, wink, and passion that's deep within you, right? All the chakras that deal with passion and movement, the heart center, the sacral, the solar plexus. I mean, we could be here all day talking about Shango, but I want to share with you that is an Orisha to tap into also if you're into African spirituality and you're interested in tapping into discovering your calling, because this is how you're going to win every single day by doing this over and over and over again. So definitely comment below and let me know. I want to know how you discovered your calling, what things you do, and what you want to show off about, and show off below so I can shout you out. Thanks for watching. And if you got anything out of this video, definitely give me a thumbs up so that YouTube knows that you got something out of this video. And see you next time. Love you all, and hit that bell to stay in the know. Ashe, ashe, ashe.